Flosstube, and welcome to this special edition little Flosstube extra where I am putting it out there, putting my name in the ring, shooting my shot for the Black Needle Society 2024 rep search. So we're going to run down 10 quick questions and I will send you back on your way. If you're joining me today, thank you so much. Yeah, if you happen to be unfamiliar, if you're watching this, the Black Needle Society is a cross-stitch subscription box company that offers not only subscription boxes, but special edition boxes. Some of those even have virtual retreats with them. They host one in-person retreat every year, and they are a company that I buy a ton of boxes from. I have been a subscriber for a couple years now, and so I just thought I'd make it official. Hopefully, we'll see. But yeah, so they are a fantastic company that offers not only cross-stitch items, but they blend a lot of lifestyle type items, related to the cross-stitching lifestyle, if you will. So I've enjoyed so many boxes. But anyway, we will get into the 10 questions so I don't start answering them before we even get to them. But here we go. So number 1, what is your name? My name is Tara. And I, for what it's worth, it was not named in relation to Gone with the Wind. So that's that. That's the old name, not a family name, just a name my mom thought was cool, and we vibe with it. I like it. Number 2, where are you from? I currently live in Atlanta, Georgia, but I am originally from Austin, Texas, which is where all my immediate family is. And I tried to spend as much time there as possible. Love to be back in Austin. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Atlanta's the most north I've lived my whole life, which I think is different from a lot of other transplants in Atlanta. I feel like a lot of people have come from more northern areas, but this is as north as it gets for me. Number 3, how did you come up with your Flosstube or Instagram name? So my YouTube name and Instagram name is Wildewoman Crafts, and that is in homage to a song, the song Wildewoman by Lucius. I'm sure link it. It's just a song that means a lot to me, and it's a song that I think particularly I related to in terms of my move away from my family. When I came to Georgia, and I've always kind of said I wish I could have a tattoo that kind of related to the song, but nothing's really inspired me, and I don't really want song lyrics. So when it came time and I was getting really into cross-stitching and wanting to maybe make cross-stitching specific content and make a separate account on Instagram, I was like, this is the perfect place to kind of do a little homage to that without getting it permanently tattooed on my body. I do have one tattoo, but yeah, haven't found the right Wildewoman tattoo yet. Maybe one day. But yeah, and then crafts, as mostly I focus on cross stitch, but other crafts trickle in. Keep it broad. Love it. So there it is. Number 4, why do you want to be a Black Needle Society rep? So a couple things certainly came to mind when I was thinking about this question. Number 1, I'm a huge fan. Ever since I first heard about the box, which is a separate question we'll get to, heard about what, they were offering, I was already immediately sad for things I had missed looking at older unboxings. And I got on the wait list and waited, I think, a couple months before I got my acceptance letter. And before that, I had kind of played the game of trying to get full boxes from the vault, getting the extras, and just feeling such intense hype when I was able to get a couple of those. So my first box was the Pirate Life stitching box, and we've been going strong as a subscriber ever since. I think I did also have to one-off the box following that, but then the third one I was in. And as far as, the special edition boxes, I participated in several of those as well. Secondly, I feel like I immediately thought of the like community and the people that I've gotten to know through the Black Needle Society. They host like monthly Zoom calls that you don't even have to be a subscriber to participate in. You can just, you know, be on their Facebook page, and you're welcome to join those. And then honestly, like the retreat, specifically the Gilmore Girls retreat, which was the first cross-stitch retreat I had participated in any way, shape, or form, and this one happened to be virtual. It really like opened me up so much, I think, in terms of like confidence and talking to people. And I mean, it's just kind of I had never really been super chatty online. I was more of a like much more passive observer on the internet. And their retreat and spending several days with folks and kind of getting into smaller rooms, I felt much more confident. And having a few people who I felt like recognized me gave me a lot more confidence to join some of the monthly calls where, you know, they could be bigger or smaller. You don't necessarily know who's going to pop in and out. So it gave me a lot of confidence. And now there's just a gaggle of people that I feel like I consider my friends from the Black Needle Society. That's like our connection point. So definitely extremely value the community that they've cultivated and the folks I have met through the Black Needle Society. And lastly, I just really respect their commitment to small makers. That's part of the reason that there is kind of a cap on boxes and wait lists and things like that, is that Katie and Laura continue to really prioritize working with smaller makers who need longer lead times to get stuff done. And I think it, you know, not only results in us getting like extremely high quality products, but it just like, there's so many makers that I've heard of through them. So as I've bought more boxes since, you know, the first kind of cross-stitch like mystery box I ever purchased was a Black Needle Society box. And as I've purchased a lot of boxes since, because I do be loving a box, I really feel like they're sort of the gold standard that I compared to in terms of like value. I feel like, you know, the price point versus what you get in the box, and that they provide just such outstanding like curation and such a wide smattering of makers. You know, I think if you buy from specific companies that are, you know, either that they make their own flosses or fabrics or patterns or that kind of thing, you know, buying a box from them, you're gonna get, you know, a higher saturation of their own products, which makes perfect sense. But I think especially if you're someone newer to cross-stitching or returning to cross-stitching and you want to get a taste for kind of what's out there now, I really do feel that Black Needle Society boxes are, again, like that kind of gold standard if you're looking to just get like a wide smattering of cross-stitch and lifestyle stuff. So just really cannot say enough positive things. I've loved the excitement I have felt from my first box to every box I've received since. Is just like never diminished. I'm always thrilled when that box shows up, and my January one is on the way, and I can't wait for it to get here. So here we go. Number 5, how would you promote our boxes? So I've been doing the Flosstube thing for I think around a year and a half. I didn't do the math, maybe a little under, maybe a little over, but in that ballpark, maybe a little under. Maybe we're coming up on a year and a half. And so I would certainly, you know, continue to show unboxings on the channel and make sure every box has their own bespoke video, and make sure my subscribers or people coming by my channel know about box sale dates and things like that. And also be sure to highlight any and all BNS products that I use, which are just littered daily in everything that I do now. Certainly by this point, I think even my last regular Flosstube, I was kitting up a project and I was like, this literally brought to you by the Black Needle Society, because I was using 2 specialty threads from 2 separate boxes plus a fabric from a 3rd box. So it's all out there, and I am happy to share with the masses. And another, which brings me back, I love that there's like a vault option for Black Needle Society items, because I think a lot of times too, it can be really frustrating if you don't know about a box and you miss that lead pre-order time, and then you're watching an unboxing and you're like, well, dang it. I want that stuff. So, I mean, you know, patterns usually can get released later, but a lot of stuff might you might not find again outside of that box. And I think that it's really fun and cool and allows for people to get specific stuff that they want. If they don't want to commit to like a mystery, they can watch an unboxing and then know that they can go to the vault. And if they want, a couple of specific items, that they can pick those up. I think that's also really awesome as well. I digress. Number 6, how did you hear about us? So I first heard through Flosstube, actually. I think during like 2020 pandemic times, I was looking around and I think I stumbled across like Rachel Ray Crafts at the time, and she was doing floss tubes and cross stitch content. And then I got into her diamond painting content a little bit and kind of went down that road, but she was featuring Black Needle Society products, and her unboxings were where I was like, oh my gosh, that looks so fun. That's so cool. And I think it took me a while before I decided I was committed enough to the hobby to feel like I needed or wanted a subscription box like that. But yeah, after watching several unboxing videos, I was like, I gotta get on this. This looks so much fun. And yeah, haven't looked back since. So thank you, Rachel Ray. Number 7, what is your favorite stitching accessory? So this is a very challenging question, but I think when it comes down to it, it's my Lowry stand. I am useless without this now. Whether I'm using a hoop, a Nurge hoop, a Q-snap, a scroll frame, like it's going in the Lowry. And I have upgraded recently to the table clamp, which with my like sit stand desk has been just like the most ergonomic setup I've had to date. So I'm really loving this combo. And also I got this because I wanted this to be a little more travel friendly, because when I go home to Texas, my dad's a retired engineer and I made him try to like replicate the Lowry stand at home because I feel useless without it. I tried to teach myself stitching in hand because holding a hoop now and like one hand stitching, I don't have patience for it anymore. My Lowry has spoiled me to death and I don't have patience for it anymore. So I think it has to go to the Lowry. All right, question number 8, what non-stitchy items do you always have close at hand while stitching? So again, so many things, but certainly a drink is at the top of the list, whether that's, water, coffee, or often wine. And I was going to show off. These two are frequent flyers of the wine, as well as I'm accruing quite the Black Needle Society coffee mug collection. So often enjoying coffee in the morning with a B&S mug, and in the evening we're enjoying a little vino. So yeah, I have the copper one and the gold one. I went back to the vault for this one because I love this color so much. So those are definitely around. And beyond that, I would say, I almost forgot, a blanket, a Black Needle Society blanket for sure. I definitely rotate these out so they all get some love, but currently I have the most recent one I got, which is I've got my Stitching to Keep Me Warm blanket from this year's Nice List box, which I just spent December unboxing the tiny presents every day, which was so fun. So definitely a blanket. And then last, I don't know if this counts as a stitching item or not, but definitely my tablet for either for pattern keeper. That's why I was like, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit of a stitching accessory in that regard. Or I have, a podcast or an audiobook. I'm listening to Fourth Wing. I'm going to be done on time. and or a show or something, some kind of other media. Cause I definitely love dual, a little multitasking, stitching and having something audio going on. So yeah, I would say some kind of beverage, my blankets, and a tablet. So yeah, I think those are the top 3 for sure. And then let's see, what is your favorite item you've seen from a Black Needle Society box? Also a very tough question, but I think when I really thought about it, I have to give it to the Stitching Journal and Planner and its subsequent iterations. I adore these, and I have been so consistent using these for the past 2 years. And not only do I track my stitching in here, let's see, oh yeah, here's like, I was planning for June. And here, yeah, here we go. Got a little, I use the tracker pages. But as you saw, I also like to have, I've been using them as like little mini, like diary journal situations. And it's been really nice. Like already I've had moments where I've like come back and read through things in here and been kind of like, oh, that's so cool. You know, I just think that there's like notes on the back so I could track like other stuff. Like the past year I started putting some books I was reading in the back. And all the stitching challenges in the front are fun to go and fill in. And yeah, I have like my Stars Hollow recap to myself in here and all of my stitching challenge hours. Yeah, I just think these are things that I will, it's a little bit of a cheat by counting all 3, but this one did originally come in the Resolution stitching box, which was a regular subscription box. These have been, you know, one-off purchases since then, but she's the one that started it all. And I just feel like they're getting better and better. Love the size upgrade. So like to use the stickers. And yeah, I don't know. I just think that they're things that I will continue to treasure for years to come, since I do try to write like a little blurb about my day, what's going on, what other things I was doing at the time beyond just tracking my stitching in here. So I really love these, and I had to, when it came down to it, that's what I had to say is my favorite item that I've received. And so lastly, what vendor are you dying for us to include? Another hard one, because as I mentioned, they are champs at getting a wide variety of makers and vendors. So very hard to think of somebody who has not been featured in a box before. But I have been thinking, because selfishly I want to try one of these bags, but the Sewing Shop in Canada, I think it's the Sewing Shop Inc. I looked it up, from Kaylee Cross Stitch, Kaylee 10 Stitch. Oh no, I forgot to look it up. The Sewing Shop is the shop. And they are based in Canada. And the bags just look phenomenal. They are very square, and they have like a front panel and a back panel and fabric around the sides. So I feel like as a Q-snap user, they are really well made for Q-snaps. It looks like there's a lot of wiggle room in there, and there's typically like a vinyl panel on the front. So I've been ogling those for a while, and I would love to see one in a box. If at all possible. So that is my pitch for that. That is my pitch for me. And if you stuck around, thank you so much for watching. It's going to be another great year of exciting stuff from the boxes. We have our last year of the Gilmore Girls retreat, and the show name just escaped me. Stranger Things. I was gonna say Secret Things. Stranger Things box coming. I hope we do zombies again this year. It's just, we got a whole nother year of stitchy magic ahead. So thank you for your consideration, Katie and Laura. I hope that if nothing else, this video is just an outpouring of love for all you do. And I can't wait to see what's in the next box. Thanks so much, everyone. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye.